If you're trying to reuse a project key in Jira, then normally you have to go through a pretty sophisticated process of deleting a project and then permanently deleting the project just so that you can completely free that key. But Atlassian recently introduced a new feature that allows you to delete previously used keys so that we don't have to go through all those endeavors of trying to just simply make a key available. So in this video, we're going to take a look at how to do that, how to delete a previously used key so that you don't have to go through all those hoops of deleting and permanently deleting projects just to free up those resources. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a like if you get value out of this video. And don't forget to check out those links down below because I have links to the merch store, free courses, paid courses, my book, so many awesome things that I have available for you. More importantly, one-on-one help if you need it. But let's jump into Jira and let's take a look. Here we are inside of Jira, and I'm going to go to my projects and basically pick a project. Pick a project where you know that you have the key, or at least have had the key before, and or maybe you want to rename an existing key and free up the current key. So you're going to go in there, and then you got to go to the project settings. So in my new way, because Atlassian decided to change everything, we're going to click on these three dots here and go to the project settings. Now this is the new way, but in essence, just make sure you get to your project settings, whether you're going through it in the old UI or if you've already been moved to the new UI. That's how you get to the project settings, at least that I can tell, but horrible way to get there. Anyways, little rant over. Once we're in the project settings, you're going to want to go to details. And if you have rekeyed, so that means that you had a key and you changed it, then you're going to see this new section here for previous project keys. If you don't see this, it's one of two reasons. One, you don't have this feature yet, or two, you haven't renamed this particular project. But the specific use case that we're trying to solve here is, and just using this example here, let's assume that we have that CK, right? As you can see here, I have CK as a previously used key. And let's assume that I want to use this key in another project or for a different effort. Well, historically, even though I have renamed it, even though I basically freed up by renaming my key, right? I put CK new right here, right? So even though I've done that, Jira will still remember the old key, because if your users click or have the old key bookmarked somewhere, then Jira is going to be smart enough to like redirect the traffic to the new key, and everything just works magically, which I think is great. But historically, if you wanted to reuse that CK key, the old one, right, the previous one here, it doesn't work well because it's still absorbed, right? It's still consumed by that project. And the only way to free up that key is to delete the project and then go into your trash and then delete it from there, because you have to permanently delete it. When you delete a project, it doesn't get deleted for up to 60 days. So you have to do, it's a two-step process, or wait 60 days, right? But that's still a bit of a problem because we got to either wait 60 days or a couple of extra steps. But with this new process, I can simply click in here and click on this X, and I'm going to delete, right? So it says you are about to delete a previous project key. Once you save the setting, any links, filters, and queries using the previous keys will no longer work. And so that's it. You just hit save. You acknowledge that very big warning, and that CK should not be available for another project. Now, where I do think you're going to have problems is because you just broke the links of filters and everything else that they just said. Then if your users are bookmarked or going to the old link, yeah, they're probably going to have a less than ideal experience. So you're going to want to exercise extreme caution when you do this, because again, Jira just fundamentally has worked to know the history. And I've actually tried to rekey a project like 10 times and Jira will still remember, right? So it's kind of interesting how Jira like caches or just has in their database all those historical keys. And so if your users go to any of the historical keys, Jira is smart enough to just take you to the most current key. And so now that you permanently delete the key, that's not going to work. And so that's a very interesting, it's an interesting feature that Atlassian releases, but an interesting new problem that they gave us. So I don't know, in the comment section, try it out and let me know what you think. Let me know your experience. And this is the very first time I delete the key. So, and I'm just reading off the warning, but I suspect, given how Jira works, that again, might not be that big of a deal, but for some users, it might be a pretty big deal. So check it out. Let me know what you think down below. And if you need any help or if you have any questions, check out that link in the description for my Linktree. I have one-on-one help. I can do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you need. And also I have free courses, paid courses, and a bunch of other resources available for you. So check out that link down below and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and drop a like. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.